A very good evening to everyone present here. I, Anas, would like to warmly welcome you all to this knowledge session on the power of resilience. In, in our fast moving, high pressure world, setbacks are inevitable. Whether it is a missed opportunity, a personal loss, a professional stress, what makes a real difference is how we bounce back. That's where resilience comes in. What is resilience? Resilience is the ability to adapt, recover, and grow in the face of challenges, stress, and adversity. It doesn't mean avoiding difficulties, it means developing the strength to face them, learn from them, and move forward. Now, why resilience matter at work and life? It helps improve. It's help individual to cope with pressure and maintain productivity. Resilient people are more likely to stay motivated, focused, and emotionally balanced. It promotes mental well being, enhances decision making, and build a strong, adaptive work culture. Now, about SEMS Welfare Foundation. SEMS Welfare Foundation is a registered non-profit organization making a strong social impact through education, skill development, and entrepreneurship. Through our flagship initiative, This is Saksham, we have empowered over 6,000 individuals with jobs ready training in IT, finance, retail, and more. We also engage in transformative projects like upskill inmates in Haryana jail and helping over 1,500 individuals secure employment through partnership with bank. SEMS continues to inspire changes, promote youth development, and champion women's leadership. Digi Samak is a future forward company focused on empowering businesses through technology and data, from IT and software to analytic, research consultancy, and marketing. Digi Samak delivers the comprehensive business solution tailored to modern challenges. Now, about our speaker, Nithya Sriram. Nithya Sriram is a natural, goal oriented, compassionate, and dependable leader with 14 years of demonstrated experience in the field of education counseling, psychotherapy, career guidance, capability assessment and development, leadership mentoring, and special education counseling. She also runs a company named Disha Consulting under the brand name Gyandeep. She possesses exceptional skill in building, motivating, and managing efficient teams while nourishing a long-standing workforce. Her deep understanding of emotional wellness and leadership dynamic makes her uniquely capable of helping others unlock their potential and build resilience in both personal and professional space. Now, handing over the session to our speaker, Nithya Sriram.
Thank you, Anas. Good afternoon, everyone. So, would you all say that in the recent time you have faced some challenge, some adversity? When I say recent times, maybe today, maybe a week back, 2 weeks back, maybe a month or so. If that is the case, can you just take a paper or even your mobile? It's okay. Just write down what was the adversity or the challenge that you faced that comes to your mind. Any challenge or adversity which you faced in the recent past. Now, when you face this particular challenge or adversity, what was your reaction? What did you do? And irrespective of whether you have overcome this particular challenge, whether you have overcome this particular adversity, is there something that you could have done better? Is there something you would want to do differently this time around? Is there something like that? Write it down. Just take a minute and do it. While I would agree to all the definitions and notations that Anas gave in his introduction about resilience is not just bouncing back. It's also about moving forward. It's not just getting up the eighth time or the nth time. It is also about the capability to move forward. To move forward, you need to make sure what you need to be in congruence of what has happened, what did you do, and what could have been a different. Now, I don't know if the chat box is open. If it is open, I would like your thoughts on. Do you think resilience is a skill that can be learned? Or do you think it is just innate? Some people are resilient, some people are. If the chat box is open, I would like to know your answer. Do you think it is innate or do you think it is a skill that can be learned? Yes, yes. Good. So far, so good. It is a skill that can be learned. But how do we learn? What is it that I should learn? What makes resilience a learned skill so powerful that people are ready to face any kind? It's not just about productivity. It is not just about being good in your work area. It's not just good about having a good life. It's about being a happy person. Now, resilience in different culture has a different name. The Finnish people, especially, who are considered to be the most happiest people on in the world, give it a name called sisu. They call it sisu. Now, what is sisu for them? Sisu is that ability which they feel. It is like a for a long time, the Finnish people think that the Finnish people alone have that extra factor, which makes them capable of bouncing back or getting back on their legs and then moving forward. This, they say, is because a lot of research has gone into this particular area also. This, they say, is because of their adversities that they have faced in the past from various other kingdoms. Now, Angela Duckworth, a well known psychologist, social psychologist, teacher turned social psychologist, she calls this the grit. The Britishers used to call this the stiff upper lip, stoic upper lip. Now, what is resilience and how do we learn it is going to be the main. What are the benefits and the practical ways to cultivate it is going to be my talk. So here we go. So that, my dear friends, is what resilience is all about. Under the most adverse of conditions, when you find a way forward. Girija, the person I introduced to you, while she's not a direct counselee of mine, I do have another counselee called Radhika from Coimbatore. She also has osteogenesis imperfecta. She makes all these news from old newspapers. She makes dolls, and her brand name currently is called as Queen Bee. Resilience is the ability to move forward or to face your adversities with a equanimity. Now, where does this equanimity come from? Why is it some of us are able to do this, and why is it some of us are not able to do? First thing first, for a long time, we believed we still are doing a lot of research on how the brain works and which part of the brain is mapped to which particular chore that we do on a daily basis. Now, we do have a capacity to adapt to stress and other areas, which is called as neuroplasticity. Now, this neuroplasticity is learned, one of the earliest experiments conducted on humans is about how a person who was paralyzed and who was a right-handed person learned to do everything with his left hand. So neuroplasticity means your brain is capable of relearning, unlearning and relearning and adapting to newer stuff. So that is why currently resilience is defined as a dynamic skill cultivated through practice and understand. So in order to understand first the to adapt and then to grow from that point forward, you first need to understand what is happening or why, how your brain reacts to a particular adversity, any kind of adversity over a period of time. Okay. So in your papers currently, I'm hopeful that all of you had identified one adversity and then written down how you overcame it or how you faced it and what are the challenges you faced along with it. And if at all given a chance, what is it that you would do different? Now let's, so what was, if any of you want to share, it's okay. Otherwise, just go on. Tell me, as you recall the recent challenge, did you respond or react? That is the first question, right? Did you respond or react? Reaction is that immediately, oh my God, why it's happening to me? Then you would have obviously looked for solution because that's how the human brain is built. Did you recognize any of your hidden strengths? I never knew before this particular adversity that I was capable of. I never knew I could learn this particular skill or I could adapt. Especially if you, during COVID, when I was training a lot of teachers to move from offline to online platform of teaching, they said, I never knew I was tech savvy. I never knew that I could actually do this. I thought when it comes to technology, I'm a boo boo. I couldn't do anything. So these are hidden strengths. These were things that made them different or they made it help them adapt to a newer dynamic. What could you do differently next? Now, remember, every challenge, irrespective of whether you have overcome that adversity or you're still fighting with it, or you feel that maybe I couldn't, I just succumb to whatever it is a lesson. Every challenge is a lesson. And those lessons actually help us. That is the main takeaway from any kind of challenge. Not the challenge in itself, it is the lesson of failing or the lesson of overcoming partly, fully of any challenge that makes it a buffer between stress and fostering resilience. That is the buffer. One best way to do this is to keep journaling. When people keep journaling, you know that you can go back and check, okay, that time this is what I did. Maybe this is what I should be doing. I have a particular counselee who has faced death so many times in his life. He's an entrepreneur and he has had so many failed experiences. He has come out with a book on for entrepreneurs how to manage their finance, how to overcome the fear of debt, of failing in a in investing in a business. So what happens here? What's happening inside our brain? Now you face an adversity. There is a reaction. Obviously, there's a very fast reaction to it. Once that reaction settles, you start internalizing that person. Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me at this particular time? What can I do? What am I? I'm not comfortable in this position. So what can I do? What am I doing now? So then you come with a coping strategy. Okay. Now, coping strategies in itself are not the topic for today, but still just to touch on them, some of us succumb to this coping strategies and they become have some negative effects. But many of us overcome these adversities by internalizing the problem and then coming with a better way of what is happening, the ladder of inference. Let's see what is happening here. First, you observe the problem. You're observing, okay, this is what has happened. Okay, now what am I doing? Then you select data from that and say, okay, let me try this, let me try this, let me try this kind of. Where is there when you are choosing those data and then moving forward, right? Your cultural back, your personal past experience come in and set a narrative. They start creating a narrative because remember, your brain always works in patterns and narration. It makes it easier. If you people have read uh, Think Fast and Think Slow, you would know. It's a beautiful book to know about how your brain makes decisions. Make assumptions based on these meanings and narrative. Then you draw conclusions, and then from there on comes your beliefs. So, this belief system is what leads to your actions. Now, this is a loop. Every time this keeps going and going and going and going. So that's why most counselors or psychologists, if you go to them for counseling, they will, what was your belief behind this action, or what was your belief behind this thought? What were you thinking? So when it comes to building resilience, it is not just your outside world, my dear friend. It is about your worst enemy isn't a person, situation, or a thing. It's the story your mind is based on assumptions and projected fears or insecure. This is what is stopping us from becoming a resilient. In short, what it means is everybody can build resilience. Anybody and everybody can build resilience. What is stopping it is us. So understand the ladder of inference so that you will understand how you can overcome that. So where are the points where you should stop and make a conscious decision is when you're selecting the data, when you're looking for meanings. Is it being, am I being biased? Am I assuming this? So those are the areas where you need to check yourself. So what's happening? Now you see these three: outer layer, middle layer, and the inner layer. Now the outer layer is your first reaction, denial. It's fine. This is fine. It's okay. I can adapt. I'm fine with this. I'm tolerating this. I'm good at self-justification. It wasn't my fault anyway. I'm facing this challenge or this adversity. False fatalism. It is hopeless. Whatever I do anyway, I know this is what the result is going to be. So why should I? And then, of course, the famous sour grade, which we call modesty or sometimes humbleness. It was anyway a useless opportunity. So it doesn't matter if I lost it. Those kind of. Now I said the inner is the coping. Coping has already, to a major extent, by this time in our life, wherever we are, we all have certain coping strategies. We all have, going back to our digital, going back to our other, what do you call, short term coping mechanisms. We have all got. Now, where I would like you to bring in the resilience is in the green zone. First and foremost, believe you can at most do only your best. That is the first thing I want you. You can at most do only to your best ability. Now, count your blessings might sound very generic and very, very, what do you call? But gratitude towards what you already have. That is something that can help you become more resilient towards any kind of challenge. So, resilience, like Tricia Rose says, it is about an outwardly hopeful perspective. I will tell you how that is. You so see that notice I have, I am, I can. Now, that is a strategy or a tip or a technique. That is one thing I would like you to carry away from here today. So, first we have this external code. So, what do I have? Okay, I'm facing an adversity. What do I have? I have a sense of security, safety, and unconditional love. Now, this is not something everybody has. right? This is something that sometimes is not something everybody's blessed sense of security and safe and unconditional love, right? So that is why many people find it very difficult to become resilient again. So as you realize, okay, how much do I have? Do I have a person? Do I have a support system? Do I have someone who can help me get through this, who can hold my hand, have my back? That someone, that they become your cornerstone during your, this is what we call the tribe, your tribe. Then comes your internal. I am someone who can overcome. I need that internal. I can overcome. I can, right? Then comes your strength and skill. So only when you have this belief firmly in place that I can overcome this, then you will look for actions. Okay, what are the actions or what are the skill sets I can learn? What are the skill sets, solutions, strength that I can use to overcome this situation? Now, when all these three are in harmony, is when you become risk. When all these three. So here I know I'm being talking too much of neuroscience and too much of behavioral patterns and how your brain works and so many other things. Let me give you a small Zen story to show what resilience. So there is this warrior who's very troubled. So he goes to his master who's sitting under a cherry blossom tree, deep in meditation. He waits for his master to open his eyes. The master, seeing his student, immediately realizes there's something very difficult, he's going through some difficulty and he's having some problems. So he asks, what is troubling? So he says, somehow I am not able to overcome my difficulty. Somehow I seem to be failing again and again. Has this happened to us? Ma'am, whatever, there are so many people who come sometimes to the counseling sessions. Ma'am, but what is the point of all these efforts, ma'am? It doesn't yield the result. It doesn't yield the result. So the master says, be like the bamboo. What is the bamboo? The bamboo bends. So it is able to bounce back to its origin and then still grow, right? So he says, be like the bamboo. And so the student is like listening and he's like, yeah, oh yeah, I get that. Yes, I also want to be like the bamboo, but somehow it is not happening, right? So easy to give advice, but when you have to work on that advice or when you have to really put it into action, we find it difficult, right? So then he says, the master says, listen, every challenge comes with two arrows. Is one arrow is what the external world is aiming at you or has put into your body or hurt you with. So it hurts you and you start feeling the pain. However, the second arrow is not from outside, it's from inside. It's from inside. You are the one who's hurting yourself again with another arrow and maximizing or carrying the pain forward. You're not allowing the wound to heal. So that is the second arrow. Now, when you are doing this is the internal belief I'm talking about. If you do not believe that I am someone who can overcome this, you will be stuck in this loop of eternal adversities and challenges over and over and over, which leads to addictive coping mechanics, which is why you come across as a person who does not have resilience, right? So there are two arrows. So remember, once you are hit by an arrow, immediately go on and do not try to hurt yourself with the second arrow and be like the bamboo, the oak, because it stands straight and strong. If there is a flood or if there is a huge storm, it falls. Whereas the bamboo is more resilient because it bends and bounces back and grows still. So that is resilience. So what are the building blocks of resilience? What are the, from the story, from all that I've been telling you, how your brain internalizes a problem and then tries to come up with solutions? What are the building? It's about optimism, a positive outlook. Is it always possible immediately to have a positive outlook? Yes, it is possible if you train yourself to look for the positive. But we, like I said, how our brain is, it is looking into past experiences, it is setting its own narrative, it brings in its cultural values, and most of the time we fail to look at the positive aspect. Then comes your emotional regulation, which is very, very important, which is a skill set that I see that it is very minimally used amongst us. Managing your emotions. It is not about being stoic, not reacting to anything or not having an emotion. That's not what I'm saying. It's not about hiding or repressing your emotions. It is about regulating your emotion. It helps you respond instead of react. It helps you stay in social support. Build your family. Build your family. When I say your social support, need not be your immediate family. It need not be only your work colleagues. It could be a Social connect, people with your like-minded value. That is a strong connection, or it gives you the comfort and perspective of where am I going? Am I going in the right direction? Is this right? Yes, right? Effective coping, not positive, not negative. I'm talking about effective coping. Effective coping is something that works for you and you alone. It is not a list of coping strategies that somebody has made and said, okay, try all. No, what works for you, because it has to be in alignment with your values. So that is effective. What are the psychological components of this? One is mindfulness, which we all would have heard about, positive psychological technique, and then self-compassion. Okay. So these strengthen your cycle. This again is a simple, what do you call, techniques or skills that you can pick up. So one is mindful breathing, which I would like all of you to try now. Just take a moment. Put your feet strongly on the floor, your palms up on your thighs, close your eyes and just breathe for it. Just breathe. Just breathe. No counting, no thinking, nothing. Just breathe. Now slowly start focusing on your breath. See how you're inhaling and exhaling. Slowly focus only on your breath. Now there are three types of breathe, inhale and exhale, that I would like you to do. First one is inhale slowly. One more inhale, strong inhale. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. Now this immediately brings down your cortisol levels. So just in double inhalation with one long exhalation. The second type is when you're feeling very irritated or frustrated, you're very angry. Okay, so just inhale slowly and then exhale forcefully through your mouth. And the third is to center and ground. Now inhale slowly to the count of four. One, two, three, four. And then as you exhale, sigh. Give yourself a big sigh. My God, I'm done kind of sigh. Yes. How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel when you are able to let go, as though you've taken away a lot of weight from your shoulders, from your head? This mindful, if not anything else, just do these three types of mindful breathing twice, thrice a day, as and how you wish. The next one is a gratitude journaling. Like I said, gratitude is the best form of counting your bliss. We are here today. We are able to listen to this. We have the cognition to try out these things. These are things that we could be grateful for. Where I am sitting in Chennai, suddenly Chennai is a very hot place. Today it is like raining. I have a gentle breeze. Aisa lag raha hai ki jannat, right? So we have to be grateful for many things. Being in the present moment. Now this is something again we hear a lot, but we don't know how to practice. What does being in the present moment mean? See, again, like I said, your techniques, your things have to be adapted for yourself, right? For you, unique. So for me, what I always find, and what many of my friends also know about me, if I'm thinking and I have to have a present moment, I try to walk. And I do this eight walk, number eight, that kind of a walk I try to. One. Second, I also doodle a lot. So find your way of focusing or bringing back your focus to the present moment. Positive reframing. How to change something from the negative. Okay, this has happened. I know the timing is not great. It's up. I've hit rock bottom. I've hit the hard ground. Well and good. Now let me bounce back. There's nothing. The ground is solid, boss. So let's bounce back. Like what is this character of Shahid Kapoor in Jab We Met? He says, "Isse बुरा तो आगे कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता." So let's bounce back time, right? So positive reframe. Why? Because first mindfulness reduces our stress. That is first the corticols and the acetylcholine has to go down. So that mindful breathing and your gratitude journaling helps you do that. Right? Next, your being in the present moment helps you focus on solutions and skills rather than ruminating on your past experience. Then comes your positive reframing. Once you do that, you know what is your way forward. You know how to go forward, right? So again, some strategies, daily strategies that you can do. Gratitude journaling, like I said, then cognitive reappraisal, change how you think about stressful events and regulate your emotions. Okay. This comes from something what I teach my young adolescent clients what to do. How generally I suggest that they do is I ask them to create a reflection point, either in their hostel room or in their bedroom, somewhere, wherever they are. A reflection point is a chair or a beanbag or some place to sit facing the wall. And on the wall, you can have either a beautiful scenery or whatever picture works. If not, nothing, just the plain wall, right? And then I ask them to sit there and then think about whatever challenges they faced through the day. How did they react to it? What was their thought process behind it? Now, this reflection allows them to come up with strategies about if they come for across such a challenge in the future, how they will overcome, right? So this also helps them regulate their emotions. They are no longer taken by surprise. Okay, this is happening. How do I do? What do I do? That panic doesn't set in. So they're not, the limbic system of your brain doesn't hijack your thought. Build connection, supportive relationships. Like I said, any kind of club or any kind of support system outside your family also is welcome. If you're blessed with such a family that is holding your back, nothing like it. If not, look out for such relationship and strengthen your social network. Not virtually alone, in reality. All set goals, achievable goals. Why? Because this teaches you flexibility. This teaches you how to face small challenges at your own pace and builds the confidence in you that you can overcome these challenges. So these are skills, or these are small steps that you can do on a daily basis to build your resilience. Once you have done, and this has been integrated, you will see that over a period of time you have become more adept. Oh, it's okay, I can manage, I know how to face this, I'm no longer panicked, I'm no longer anxious about it. So that gives you the confidence to face the world. Go out and face the world. Many of us are still sulking inside our rooms within our virtual reality because we do not have this resilience to go out and face the. So I hope that drove the message home. Life goes on. It's not going to stop. So it's for us to become more. So action planning and resource kind of just made a small one. Choose one skill, one resilience. It could be journaling. It could be talking to a friend about whenever I'm blessed with such friends to whom I can just brainstorm about all the small challenges I face on a daily basis. I just need to pick up the phone and I have to. It has come to a level where if something happens, the first thing that's running through my mind is I have to call this person and tell her that these things happen. Set specific goals. Example, practice gratitude daily, make it measurable. Make it measurable. That is the point here. You have to make it very measurable. Okay, I was here. Now I've moved so far. That's good. That's good. Let me see how much further can I go. Identify obstacles. Why? Because when you anticipate challenge, now this some people get stuck at this level because they are so busy identifying challenges and anticipating those small defeats that they find that the whole idea is about finding solutions and not just looking at the risk there. Okay, so it's a vital cultivable skill. Practice regularly and be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. It has to happen over a period of time. So that brings us almost to the end. Maya Angelou is a writer and poet laureate from Africa. She recently passed away. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Many such people who have fought adverse conditions like Girija, like Radhika, like Maya Angelou, who have fought adverse conditions and then moved forward, rewritten their life story as a success story rather than a sad story. There are many such people who have shown us the path to resilience is by practicing those, right? So open to question and answers if you have any. I hope the session was useful. My name is Nithya Sriram. I'm a psychologist, psychotherapist, and a career progression expert. I can be reached through my mail ID, nithya@dhyandeep.net. Feel free to ask any questions that you would like me to answer or take at this moment. And thank you, SEMS, for this wonderful opportunity to connect with you all and share my thoughts on resilience.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to sincerely thank Nithya Sriram, a brilliant speaker, for today's session on the power of resilience. Her session was both insightful and empowering, reminding us the challenges are not the end, but a stepping stone toward growth. Her personal experience and expertise gave us actionable way to nurture resilience, both within ourselves and in our communities. Her ability to present a deep emotional topic with clarity and compassion left us enriched and inspired.